I'm throwing that. Woo. Man, well, welcome to first episode. We did it. It was so nice we had to do it twice.
Come on.
We shot a couple weeks ago, and I just didn't like the aesthetic. We shot it upstairs in my homeboy studio. So today we're just gonna shoot it in my studio. But our first guest, I'm so happy to have him on the show again, because he's probably one of my favorite people to see when I'm out in Houston. I don't go out a whole lot. I used to go out a lot, and we would always run into each other. And we always run into the same little characters of crew that we always see each other at the concerts and the shows.
Yeah.
But whenever I see this man, I always smile. He always puts a smile on my face. Number one, because we're going to always compare sneakers. That's going to be the first thing we do. We're going to compare fits. That's the second thing we're going to do. And then we're going to talk music, because this is what we love to do.
Yeah.
And as far as Houston, he's probably one of the godfathers of cinematography, video, anything that got to do with anything dope that's coming out of Houston. He's had his hands and his paw prints and all of it. I think he's one of the illest videographers in the game, and I think that he's the most slept on in this city and in the game. And he's a good friend of mine. So we're gonna welcome to the show. We're gonna keep it short and simple. This is my man Cliff Mack.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you.
Always.
No. Royce the 5'9". Thank you. And I'm honored to be here. I wish I could remember what he said when he was going on his last press run.
Uh-huh.
He was just real. Everything was
real cookie cutter.
Real cookie cutter. And I always say Royce because that's our guy. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show, man, and welcome. And thanks for being my first guest.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to take up too much of your time, because I know you're a busy man. I know you're a family man, but I'm going to ask you some questions that I feel like are things that not only I want to know, but people that know you want to know.
Sure.
That might not know.
Sure.
Sure. So the first thing I want to ask you before we get into it is, and this kind of goes along the lines of the show, because the show No Chauffeur, the name No Chauffeur means it's like another way of saying self-driven or self-motivated or self-inspirational.
That's what's up.
So being that you're a self-motivated person, I've always seen you hustling. I've always seen you grinding.
Makes so much sense now.
You know what
I mean? I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, hey, tell me about No Chauffeur.
It's a lyric from a song from an album that I did a few years ago. Oh wow, it's been more than a few years ago, 2010. But it's a lyric from a song that we did with my homeboy from Portland, maybe about 12 years ago, 13 years ago. And it's called Ambition. And there's a line in it where he says, he's talking about a female, and he says, she's self-driven. She doesn't need no show. She don't need no chauffeur.
That's dope.
I always thought that'd be a dope name for a song, not only a song, but just a concept.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what's the exact no chauffeur moment in your career that you realize ain't nobody coming to pick my ass up? I'm walking home.
Oh, that's easy. When you started saying it, I was thinking, then it just popped into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm terrible with years, so I can't give you the year.
Okay.
But whatever year I did the DJ Screw documentary, I want to say maybe 05.
Okay. I remember that.
05,
Okay.
06-ish, right? I did DJ Screw, The Untold Story. Halfway through it, I had an issue with an editor.
Mm-hmm.
It just, it just wasn't gelling. You know what I mean? But I didn't know how to edit yet.
Mm-hmm.
I understood all the other parts of production because I got to wear those hats.
Okay.
But that was at a time when, you had to pay money to have an editor.
Right.
So any show I worked on.
And it wasn't cheap.
No, hell no. And I had just learned how to shoot. Not learned how to shoot, but I had just gotten consistent with opportunities to shoot a couple of years prior.
Okay.
But I just hadn't been forced to learn how to edit. And he and I had I wouldn't even say a falling out. It was just at the point where I just couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I told him, hey man, just give me the drives and I'll bounce. You know what I'm saying? And I left. I took the drives. I went home and I didn't know how to edit. So I sat down in my computer and I plugged everything in and I just kind of started teaching myself how to edit. The end result was I actually finished the doc, and I was able to shoot a lot more because now, I had more sensibility to what I was actually shooting and how it would fit.
Right.
And so at that point, I realized that where the game was heading. The game was heading to the point that you had to be able to do all things.
Everything. Yeah.
Or else you were going to, if you were trying to wait till you got up enough money to pay an editor and pay a videographer, you'd be stuck. So that was my point when I got I ain't had no chauffeur.
Well, thanks to him for being a shitty Shitty editor.
He was a good editor. He was just a shitty person. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. No, shout out to him because all of these things are stepping stones.
And he does MMA, so I'm not going to say his name. He might see me. And
right.
He's real disarming. He's super nerdy.
Yeah.
But I don't want my arm dislocated or something. Because it's gonna go. It can only go one way after that.
Right.
Like at this stage of my life, I can't let you do that to me, bro.
What's something that you felt that like so spectacularly that even you had to like laugh at yourself?
I failed at?
Yeah.
I went the wrong way in our high school AAU basketball game.
Did you score on yourself?
I was gonna dunk the ball. And the whistle started going off. Toot, 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 and I had the ball up and everything. And my dad was in the stand.
No, he was.
Yeah, he was. And my dad is from Guyana, South America, right? So I got West Indian parents. That man didn't say a word. They called backcourt on me. Mm-hmm. My teammates were dying on the floor laughing because I was talking on the side like how me and you were sitting here shooting shit. I really wasn't paying attention.
Right.
The coach finally said, "Hey, get in there." Mm-hmm. I'd been sitting on the bench like the whole game because I sucked. I wasn't that great. So I got in the game and I went and stood in the backcourt and I was just standing there looking around like, damn, nobody's gonna guard me. So I could jump now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
At this point, they inbounds the ball to me and I didn't even catch it. I just turned and ran with it. Took 2 dribbles and took off. Tweet! The crowd goes wild. My dad gets up and walks to the door and looks at me and says, "Come on, let's go." Yo, when I got back to school on Monday,
man,
I was wrong way Jones, wrong way Mack, wrong way McBean. I was wrong way for at least a couple of weeks. It lasted for a minute. And so, yeah, I realized I wasn't going to be, basketball was not in my.
That wasn't. Man, that's crazy. That's a funny story. I wasn't a super athletic dude either, but I never ran the wrong way on a basketball court.
I mean, listen, it's got to be a first time for everything. And I think everybody should have an opportunity to do something like that.
No doubt.
Because when you get to talking to kids and telling them, "Hey, man, you can't be good at everything."
Right.
That's a great
sign.
Like, oh, because they're going to, if I'm talking to them, they think I'm cool.
Yeah.
Like, look, bro, this happened to me.
Yeah.
So,
man, I like this question. If your journey had a Yelp review, what would your 5-star review say, and what would your 1-star hater comment be?
The 1-star hater comment would be, "This nigga is not as cool as he thinks he is." That would be the 1-star review.
I think that would be mine too.
Right? Hopefully, the 5-star would be, "I could trust his word."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he under-promised and over-delivered.
I would. That's what I would definitely put if I gave you a review.
And that's what I would hope to.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. What's the biggest, I thought I was eating good, but I was really starving moment in your career?
I went to Tyler Perry's house one time.
What? Winning Tyler Perry winning or still on the grind Tyler Perry?
Right. Still no. He was winning.
Okay.
At the time.
Okay.
Right. Pause. I said it's Tyler Perry's house.
True,
you saw the
true.
Boondocks episode?
No doubt. Yeah.
Right. It was none of that.
Okay.
I was working for a television show.
Okay.
And it was a Tom Joyner Sky show.
Okay.
And they were doing a screening at Tom Joyner's house. So it was all the hosts of the show, Tom, his wife, all the people from Reach Media. And we were in Atlanta. And we were driving to Tyler Perry's home. And it was like in the middle of nowhere. And this wasn't even the big house.
Okay.
This was just like a mansion, like a legit, not even mini mansion, like a legit mansion.
Yeah.
And I have a mean sneaker collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to say that, I got some gear.
Yeah.
Right now, my house, at the time, let's say my house was 1,800 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
His closet was as big as my house. Bro, and it was 2-story.
Really?
Oh,
his
man.
Closet was 2-story?
Bro, his closet was 2-story. It was insane.
Damn.
It was insane. And I'm like,
what year is this?
2013.
2000. Damn, Tyler Perry been getting money for a minute.
He was getting money, bro. And that wasn't even the house that they showed on Jet.
Right.
He bought another house shortly thereafter that they featured in Jet magazine.
Wow.
So like, and I saw the plays.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those plays made this? I'm definitely doing something wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to having confidence.
Man.
Shout out to confidence, bro.
Let me ask you this while we're on that. Because I don't like to criticize Tyler Perry creatively. Well, I definitely don't criticize him business-wise. I think he's a phenomenal business person. But creative-wise, what do you think he should be doing differently that he's not doing with how far along he is in his evolution as a filmmaker, director, writer, all these things that he does? What do you think that he should be doing better than what he's doing?
Nothing.
You think he should just stick to that format and run with it?
He has got an audience that the talented 10th and the 5%ers, we may not be interested in what he's doing. But the 85,
love it.
It was funny when I said, yo, you know, it's a dope house. And he looked at me and said, I'm happy with it. It did his hands like that. So
Yeah.
I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased with it.
Pleased.
But I will say this.
What's that?
I didn't go in there and watch that screening.
You did?
No. I'm just saying. It was me and my boy Hank.
Oh, word?
Yeah, because you know me and Hank worked together, you know, with the show. So it was like we got there like 30 minutes late. And so I told him, I was like, listen, I don't watch movies after they start because I don't want to spend half of the movie trying to figure out what's going on.
That was a good excuse. It was a
great excuse. It was so dope in the moment. Hank looked at me like, so right. So we sat in the kitchen and his chef, she's the one that gave us the tour. His chef whipped us up some food and fed us.
What?
You know what I'm saying? So we sat in there for a couple of hours.
Y'all got VIP
chopping it up with the chef. Yeah. So, you know.
You did it the right way.
Shout out the chef.
What's a belief you held in your early career that now makes you say, wow, I was a fucking idiot? And I'm always thinking about stuff like that. Because I had beliefs when I was younger that were just ridiculous.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. And I'm just trying to think of one that really would be effective when we start thinking about creatively. Here's one. I felt that you really had to be talented to get on. And that the most talented people would be found somehow and given their opportunity at the Golden Ring.
Ain't that everybody from the 90s?
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Yeah, because, you know, we're from the era of A&Rs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And their job was to do what?
Artists in development.
To find talent. Like, and I really felt that, you know, after I did that one, and this is how real Bun B is. Bun B pushed for me to get my first big shot. He pushed for me to get Throwed.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Who were you in the running with? You don't know? But he was.
I got hired by BET to go down to Port Arthur, and I forget which UGK video was being shot. I went down there, and you know, Bun gave me a copy of the album or played the album for us before it released.
Yeah,
and we heard "Get Throwed." As soon as we heard the guitar solo, oh my god, we was
all like, all
of us was in the car together and was like, "Yo, that's it. That one, that's the one." And then we, you know, submitted a treatment. You know, we gave me the opportunity. I thought I was on my way.
Nice.
That ain't how it works.
Yeah.
And I didn't make no money.
And you didn't make no money.
As a matter of fact, I was $6,000 under.
Damn. When was this? When was that video?
Shit, whenever that song came
Early
out.
2000s?
I told you, I'm terrible with. But you know, it did precede DJ Screw, so I had a lot of relationships in the time at the time made from that.
Yeah.
I formed relationships with a lot of the Houston artists on a peer level at that point, and so everything, you know, there was a silver lining to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You were really on a peer level with these guys now. So even now when we see each other, not just Bun, but a lot of the guys, you know, It's just
it's a dope song and a dope video.
I love I love this. I still love the song. It's like I still whenever I hear it, it's like what I mean.
Is there anything more disappointing than when you hear a dope ass song and then you have a whack ass video?
Yeah. Like Devin had one. Don't Get Me Wrong.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, it's awful. The video's awful. Don't get me wrong. I really like you, but baby, I'm Stone something.
No, I didn't see that.
The song is so dope. It is so.
I know the song. I heard the song, but
the song is bananas, and the video is just like. And I hate to talk about. I don't know who directed, so I don't have any. But like, I wanted to do that Devin video so bad. There's part of me that wants to just shoot my version of the video as a short film,
right?
Anyway,
yeah, you should.
I think I should.
That'd be dope. What's your most memorable? I'm built for this. Damn, I'm actually good at this moment that you've ever had.
I was in Manhattan. I was working for the Source All Access, and I got hired. I was a field producer.
Okay.
And that was the dope thing about working with the Source, right? Because it's the Source.
Were they still in the Village? Like
I wasn't. We were on 34th Street.
Okay.
Right in 8th Avenue, right next to Bird, the jazz club.
Yep.
Bird. In the building, on the other half of the building, that Tupac got shot in.
Okay.
So I was going to interview Nas. Johnny Nunez was the photographer, right? And they were shooting for the Source cover.
Okay.
I was, he told me I had 15 minutes. And he was an ass about it. I heard him saying it. He was like, "Oh man, I gotta do it. Man,
really?
Tell this nigga you got 15 minutes." Maybe he didn't say nigga, but it was that energy. It was definitely the energy.
It was definitely that vibe.
That interview lasted like 2.5 hours.
Really?
And he sent his management out a couple times, like, "Nah, we good."
Really?
Yeah.
Nas?
Yeah.
What?
And then, I mean, it was just a super dope interview.
Yeah.
And one, I guess, because I was such a fan. And we're about the same age. Yeah. And so I was in line with his career, you know what I'm saying? I saw him 2 weeks later when Ether dropped. It was Queens Day. And I remember he was at this school in Queens. After it was over, it was in the theater. It was a big deal. Like all the kids were going crazy because, Ether just, they played back to back. It was crazy on the radio, right? This was like the day of release.
Yeah. Me and my younger brother had many arguments about.
Yeah.
Me and Zaire had many arguments about
what, Ether or Takeover.
Oh yeah,
with
he was a big Jay. I love Jay-Z too, but he's a Jay-Z fan. I'm Team Nas all day.
Right. That's how me and my boy Hank Bell are. We have this argument.
Me and my brother
these are heated arguments, right? People will be scared. Like, are y'all gonna fight? Like, no, move. This ain't got nothing to do with that. But I remember I was a pretty good distance away from the door, a few layers back.
Okay.
He had walked in the door and there was this crowd of media following him. And he looked back outside and he pointed out a couple of people. He said, "Oh, yo, something from the Source.
Yeah.
Hey, let him through."
Nice. That was that moment.
I was like, oh. And it was only like 5 or 6 of us in the dressing room with him afterwards. And I was like, that's dope. That was dope.
Yeah, that's real dope.
I had a few moments like that was really dope. I that's why I just, I'll never not be. I'm not gonna ever be an Earth, Wind and Fire or a R&B dude.
Yeah.
No, I just had too many crazy life changing experiences with hip hop for me to ever. That's like me not ever being a Rockets fan. You was here when the championships.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you not a Rockets fan if you were here during those 2 championships?
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nas is definitely my favorite. And
He's my favorite.
And I'm glad you brought him up because that I get to tell my Nas story.
Tell your Nas story. All
right. So remember back in like the early 90s, they used to have this music convention out in San Francisco called the Gavin?
Yeah.
So I went.
A lot of people got beat up at that.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I was there that year. They had that big battle in the lobby at the whatever the hotel was that it was at. Matter of fact, my producer at the time, Tony D, started that battle because he called out Search, and that turned into this battle. But while we were at that, I think it was 1990. While we were at the Gavin, we got invited to go see Cypress Hill, and I forget who else was performing, but me, YZ, and a couple other people went, and we're in line.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier that day, I had met this cat from Queens named Shane or something like that, light skinned cat. Didn't know he was friends with Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Just met him out. You know, you at these conventions, you be meeting people,
standing in line together,
everybody
going into
from the
East
Coast. Yeah. So we kicked it. We having a good time. Fast forward, I'm at the club. We're walking into this club. I got on these brand new, the 3/4 Timbs with the
40s,
with the little canvas on the side. You know what I'm talking about? They're like 3/4. They got like little mesh. They got the mesh on the side.
Oh, the chucker joints. Yeah, with the cutout joints.
I found some so they had the 3/4 ones. I found some ones that are a little bit higher than the 3/4 ones. They was orange.
Was it the beef and broccoli?
They was orange and peanut butter.
The beef and broccoli are the ones you're talking about.
That's what you're talking about.
The browns with the green meshing. Okay.
So these preceded those.
Right.
And they were a little bit taller.
Right.
And they were peanut butter and orange. They were sick. I had on an orange.
And nobody had them.
I found them at a like one of those Army Navy stores in Jersey off of Route 1. So I'm in line. I got on an orange vest.
Right.
Got my boots on.
Yeah.
But you know how you can just feel somebody watching you? So I'm standing there in the line, we talking. I just feel, I just feel somebody on your neck. And the dude Shane walks up. I don't see who's behind us. I just see him walk up. He said, "Hey, what's up, B?" I dap him up. I turn around. It's Nas and Jungle standing right behind us. So Nas or Jungle go to Shane, the dude Shane. Y'all know them? And he goes, "Yeah, this my man Fines from Jersey, him and YZ, that kind of thing." And then Jungle goes, "Nigga, we gonna rob you for them boots."
That's dope though.
And we all just laughed.
Yo,
I said, "Nigga, I could feel y'all niggas plotting on me."
Yo,
I wish I could run into him. I know he's never gonna remember this story because this is so long ago. I think Halftime had just came out.
Oh yeah,
I think it had just came out.
We was all kids.
What's something that broke you back in the day when you was grinding would do that successful you would never do?
I don't even consider myself successful yet.
You don't?
I don't know. I think maybe that's how I keep myself like really driven still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm there yet.
I always say, because when I was in the corporate world and I was managing like my teams, I would always, whenever they would hand in their like quarterly reviews or annual reviews, anybody that gave themselves the top tier, I'd be leery of that.
Yeah.
If you don't give yourself room to be like, then you need to go. You probably need to go to another job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because if everything you do is right, we're about to start having arguments about
all day long
about perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. Broke me. College me would make a mean ramen noodle casserole. It was crazy. I bagged chicks behind those casseroles. What?
A ramen noodle casserole
with Kraft cheese.
What?
I don't even know if that's really cheese. I don't think it is.
Oh no, it's definitely.
However, don't make me. I'm telling you, bro. In a little Pyrex dish, It was like baked. Ah man, like hot dog or sausage slices. When I got a little bit, when I had a little bread, I get the little sausage slices. Now I wouldn't touch that stuff with a 10-foot.
Man, it's crazy the things that you would come up with when you broke. You would improvise, man.
Bro, listen, you look in the fridge and you see what you got left. And like,
all
right,
I got 2 eggs.
Right, I got 2 ramen. I got 2 pieces of American cheese, and the corner is hard on both of them because they've been exposed.
When it melt, it'll be all right.
It'll be all right, or just cut it off, and then we gonna make this work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
What's the most hilarious, petty reason you stayed motivated during a rough patch?
So I used to date this girl. I know my wife's gonna be mad at. She might not be mad. She'll be all right. I used to date this chick, and remember she said to me one time we was talking on the phone, like cell phones just got there, right? Just got kind of hip. So I heard her on the phone and she was talking to one of her friends. She said, I married somebody. I just want my husband to be able to buy me a Lexus. And blah, blah, blah. She was talking real crazy. And then, you know, not long after that, we broke up and she was, you know, she had a couple of her homegirls at her apartment when I was over there. Because I think I was staying with her or something. Something crazy, dumb shit that you do when you're in college. When you don't know any better, you do better.
Right.
And she said, I can't deal with the starving artist. I don't want to do this starving artist thing. She said the shit to me in my face. I was like, all right, bitch. I was hurt.
I bet you were.
Oh man, but that key lived in my back forever. Listen, but you know, I'm sure my wife would say thank you because, you know, that really motivated me. And one thing that she tells people is that he never said. She would say if she had to give me a Yelp review, our thing is that I never told her I was going to do something and I not do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it's just like we're, husband and wife conversation, you know what I'm saying? Significant other conversation. We talking, I'm like, yo, man, yeah, we're going to go to New York and I'm going to, you know, this BET thing. And then when I left BET, I was like, yo, I'm going to leave BET. I didn't even say I wanted to leave. She said, go ahead. If you don't want to be there, if you're not happy, just leave and we'll be all right. Dip. I said, yeah, I'm going to go back to Houston. I'm going to start my own production company. I'm going to start doing this, that, and the other. And so, you know, I never wanted to be a starving artist. Yeah. I knew that that's a thing, right? Yeah. And relatively speaking, I'm still one because I still haven't gotten to the point. Well, even when you make more money, you have more responsibility and you know, it is what it is. Yeah. But I never, when that situation happened, it really like motivated me to the point that I never wanted to be seen as that. I never wanted to be like, see, I told you. You know what I'm saying? So
what's a really like tiny minuscule decision that you made that provided great reward for you?
Okay, first off, the butterfly effect is real.
I definitely believe that.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, all day.
And I'm just really trying to think. I think that's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
Like you think about, it's only a tough one because on the tail end of the decision, right? When you know everything that came from the decision, there's no way I can consider that decision a small decision anymore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like the
reason why I asked you is because one day, this is earlier this year, for some reason it just popped into my head, the timeline from when I wrote the first song that I wrote for Z, right? I remember him calling me up. I was 15, 16 years old. He called me up. He was like, hey, I'm working on this album. Come over to my house. We're going to do some writing. I remember I came over to his crib, pulled some rhymes out of my book that I already had.
Right.
And that became In Control of Things. And that became Back Again, 2 songs on his first album.
Right.
And then if he never did that, I'm never in Texas. My brother's never here. You know what I mean? Like that one little thing that I did by going over his house that morning, if I would have just been like, I ain't doing that, you know. That one little thing I did changed my family's entire life from that moment. Because from that moment, we recorded that album together. From that moment, he invited us on tour. We came out here, and I went to my brother's school while he was in school, right? Pum was going to school called Coppin State University.
I'm hip with Coppin State. It's an HBCU, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I said, we're about to go on tour. You should come and be our road manager. My brother dropped out of school that day.
Facts.
And came with us on tour.
I'm sure the road life was something that he was nervous about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And we had no game plan. And we wasn't making no money back then. But that little, me writing those rhymes for Z and writing those songs with Z is what set that little thing that I did, that little sacrifice of saying, I could have been like, I'm not giving you no songs.
Right.
Pay me, you know,
right.
Any of that. Or I just don't feel like doing it. But the little thing turned into us coming here and all of this.
I have an idea. I have an idea for one. So I graduated from college. My boy John Tucker, Dr. Teeth, got a job at BET.
Teeth.
Come on, man.
Teeth.
He's the GOAT, right? Like as far as creatives, like the first guy that I could say that I could visibly see him submit to his creativity, which is that's a practice that I had to really force myself, because of being a hip hop dude. Submitting to your creativity means you either gotta be vulnerable, and you gotta look at things with softer eyes, and you gotta be okay with being creative and doing that in front of people. And sometimes that's not easy from a visual perspective. I watched him do it, and I had to take that from him, or learn that from him. Let me say that better. He went to BET. He called me like on a Thursday. Now, mind you, for a year or two prior, he was there. I was here. I sold advertising for a newspaper. Then I sold advertising for an adult magazine, which is actually a cool job.
It is.
I mean,
it sounds like a cool job.
I mean, hey, it's worse things to get up and go to work to do than go to strip clubs and sit around and sell advertising and take pictures of, whatever. So that was a quick pass, and then I did it for a website.
Not to cut you off, but next time you see Doc, ask him about when he worked as a chef in the Titty Bar.
Okay,
next time you see him.
Okay, I will, and I'm gonna see Doc. And then he called me like on a Thursday or a Tuesday. Said, hey, can you be here Friday? So maybe it was Wednesday.
Okay.
And I jumped on the plane, man. I had one, like a brown suit.
One brown suit.
I had one brown suit. And
why was that like the suit back then?
I had no idea.
I had one brown suit.
It's like
for years.
Doc
had one brown suit.
Why is it a brown suit though?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know why. I don't own a brown suit now. I own a tan suit, but not a brown.
I got a tan one in the closet. Okay. I don't have a brown one.
No brown.
But back in the 90s, I had one suit, and it was a brown suit.
Like,
and every nigga I know had one brown suit.
Right. So I took my brown suit. That's a funny podcast name. The Brown Suit Chronicles. So I took my suit. I jumped on a plane, told my wife at the time, flew up to DC. Had an impromptu meeting with Larry Holland, who at that point was in charge of production over at BET.
Okay.
On a Thursday, I think he gave me the job before I left BET that day.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went when John introduced me to the lady I was going to be working for, or hopefully working for. Her name is Tracy Kinzer. She was writing the script for Cedar's World, the show that we worked on.
Okay.
And she was like, yo, and this goes along the lines of writing. She goes, hey, I just got the script. Do you write? I was like, yeah, I mean, I wrote, but I won't. You know what I'm saying? like whatever. She said, do you fly? Like, yeah, what do you mean? So she said, touch the script up. Let me see what you got. So I was like, you serious? She said, yeah. So I went and I sat down someplace in the cafeteria, somewhere, I forget where I was. And I sat down and I punched up the script and I gave it back to her. And they did it. They used it for a screen test. No, I got the job the next day. I came back the next day with John. She said, bring him back tomorrow. I came back the next day. I think I may have talked to you about this before, but the next day is when they had the Lil' Kim and Busta Rhymes in BET. And then she said, here, I need these scripts punched up. Lil' Kim and Busta Rhymes are going to be here in whatever amount of time. And I punched the scripts up. And I flew back home to get my stuff.
Really?
Like,
just that quick?
Within a week, I was on the way to DC to go sleep on John's floor.
That's crazy.
And that, it was just a decision. Like I kind of trusted it. He was like, look, man, because he actually put us all on. At one point, he put myself on. He put Keelan Farouk and Marcus Wiley. Marcus Wiley is killing it in the comedy.
Yeah, he's dope. That specialty guy is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And then Chris, oh man, Chris Mayberry. Why couldn't I remember Mayberry? Chris Mayberry, and we all were on different shows. Like Mayberry would freelance with him on Rap City. Keelan and Marcus were producing Hits from the Streets with Al Scherer. And then he put me on with Cedar's World. And at one point, like all of the big shows at TSU all the big shows at BET were produced by guys who went to TSU.
That's crazy.
So just,
that's
jumping off, just taking that leap of faith.
That's
put me where I am now.
That's fucking dope. If there's one thing that you could remove from the industry that you're in, what would it be? And why is it so toxic?
All right, so our industry overlaps, right, with the music industry. And there's a monkey see, monkey do attitude And I'm not even gonna say monkey because I think if you say that, I believe that has a bunch of racist undertones. So let me change that. It really does. Now, as I'm saying it now in 2025, I hear them.
Yeah.
But there's a copycat attitude, right? And it used to be that record labels would say, "Oh, we want another
one of those.
I want to, we need one of those. We're looking for that person or that artist or that type." Now the artists themselves are copying, whatever is hot, right?
Yeah.
And so everybody's doing it, rather than people being original and being whatever their true self is in whatever they're doing, right? Whether it's music, whether it's the content space, whether it's because there's certain creators that when you see their stuff, you see it and you can tell the authenticity.
Yeah.
I said it right the first time. I'm not gonna say it again.
Yeah.
Of their work. I fuck that word all the time. You can sense it. You can tell that this is who they are.
Yeah.
They're being their genuine selves. And then you see a lot of other artists when they get in trouble, you see who they really are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they got to do the walk of shame.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Then it's then their real voice pops up or their real. It's just entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's all the way across the board. And I got to include content creation now because now that's the way a lot of us are getting into space. You know what I'm saying? And with the advent of AI, filmmaking is going to be, is going to turn into whoever can anticipate the blind spots in AI the best. To be able to prompt it. You know what I'm saying? To fill in those. Yeah. That's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't make that up. I read that.
Right.
So I don't remember where I read it. However, I don't want to take credit for that, even though I may be the one saying that. But it's true. Content creators and people who bring a original thought to life. When it's really original thought and not, I saw somebody else do this.
Right.
Because how many videos have you seen, or how much content have you seen where I may do a video like. My wife, every time we go out to eat, what do you want to eat? I don't know what I want to eat. Right. You've probably seen 50 of those, right?
For sure.
With different people doing almost the exact same thing. That's what I mean when I say it's just a copycat. Oh, this works, so let me do it. Rather than, let's give props to the first person that did it and then move on and try to find something else that's original to hang our hat on and keep creating so that, when ours hits, it hit out of development, creativity, and you know what I'm saying? Seeing the blind spots that you learned as you were trying to, you know what I'm saying, create. So it's that. I just take out the copycat and let if everybody could be original and in their own lane and space, I think the industry would be
a lot better.
Oh man,
yeah, especially with the way this AI is going to make it so easy for people to just copycat,
bro.
It's going to. I equate it to me and one of my homeboys was talking today about sort of like. Well, here's the thing. And we were talking about how, like with an app like Sora, you only got like a 10-second window to make a piece of art. So you got to figure out a way to kind of manipulate it and be creative. Most people are going to just use it as a 10-second blurb to get out there to kind of create some kind of reaction. The creative people are going to be like how we were with the MPC and with the SP1200. And when you had that 2 seconds of sample time, you had to turn that into make something, a 3-minute song. DJ so I think the people that are really dope are going to be able to take this stuff.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks it's just a crutch. It's like this. It's going to be this super crutch for everybody to lean on.
Yeah. Like
but it's going to be a super crutch for people that have no creativity to just put out a bunch of garbage.
Right.
But for the ones that really use it and utilize it right, it's going to be amazing.
That's why I said that's what made me think of when I read it. They said that those of us that can anticipate the blind spots, that can anticipate what it is that we're not telling the AI to create for us. You know what I mean? When those of us that can do that will be the ones that's going to create the art.
Yeah. If your career so far was a movie, what would the title be, and who would play the villain?
The villain?
Yeah.
What current? I almost said my wife would be the villain because the shit is funny and she would get mad at it. So that's why, and I joke. I kid. Who would be? Damn, that's a good one. What would the name of my movie be? I'm trying to think who would be the villain. You know, man, I haven't had that many villains in my life, bro. I've been fortunate, man. I haven't had any real villains to even give anybody the, you know what I'm saying? I've had people who me and them didn't get along. I've had people I've had fights with. I've been fired from like 1,000 jobs. I've never cared about being fired. I'm not saying I want to get fired now because I got fired when I didn't have a mortgage. Mm-hmm. Once the mortgage kicks in, you start learning how to maneuver.
That's it.
But I've been fortunate enough to never have any villainous characters in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Is technology becoming any kind of a villainous?
Nah, I've always been tech forward.
Yeah.
Right. I was fortunate. I was in a program. I was in the Science Academy of Austin. And I graduated in '89. So in '89, the Science Academy was known as the Nerd Academy. Mm-hmm. And so, I learned how to program. Mm-hmm. I was programming in Pascal and BASIC and, kind of learning a little bit about, really learning about computers before they became, you know what I'm saying, everyday essential. You know what I mean? Before we were wearing computers on our wrists and when the Jetsons was like a cartoon, like we're going to be able to look at each other and talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I've always embraced technology. Good. I've always been fortunate enough to be able to be tech forward.
If your legacy had a soundtrack, what 3 songs have to be on it?
The HNIC by Prodigy.
Oof. What song off that album?
The HNIC.
Yeah,
I love that joint.
Yeah, it is hard. That and what's the
Started
again?
Win or Lose. Yeah, Win or Lose is a banger. Yeah. What else would my soundtrack be? Definitely that. I have a few soundtracks. See, if my phone wasn't over there, I'd look through my set. I have a playlist that's like my soundtrack. It would definitely be Got to Knows by Royce the 5'9".
Okay.
Got to Knows.
Okay.
And it's a joint by Inspector Deck.
Ooh.
On what was it? Was it Deck and Muggs or Jizz and Muggs? Jizz and Muggs.
Mm.
And it starts off, I'm not caught up in politics. I'm no black activist on the so-called Scholars Day. Mm-hmm. I come through with the woo and smash. And I don't forget the rest of the line. I'll mess it up. But that joint, that's the thing. That's what I hated about the Wu-Tang. They put out so many damn albums.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the names of all the songs, but I have them on my playlist. So it'd be like those 3. And then I'd probably have like 100 others when I'm walking through the airport. Mm-hmm. That's playing in my headphones. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's I'm moving to that beat. And it's dope that you asked that question, because when I talk to my college students, sometimes I tell them, I said, have you ever asked yourself, what's your soundtrack? Mm-hmm. Like, what's the rhythm of your life? What are you listening to? Mm-hmm. What is, when you hear things, like, what are you, what things are like move you? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
What's something you're proud of that you've accomplished that people don't talk to you enough about or don't give you enough props for?
My daughters are dope as hell. Mm-hmm. Super proud of that.
Yeah.
I take a lot of pride in like when I would bring my daughters around and they knew, like, hey, introduce yourself. Tell them what your name is. Mm-hmm. They would, hi, my name is Charlie McBean. Hi, my name is Corey McBean. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I see them now, and I see them move around, and I'm almost getting a little emotional thinking about them because, man, like, I don't have sons.
Yeah.
But I tell anybody, man, I'll stack my 2 girls up against
anybody.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They were both ferocious athletes.
Yeah.
They got that from their mama. They were way better athletes than I ever was. Yeah. But I think I love their mentality. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I know the part that I played in that. Mm-hmm. I know, moms have a particular role, and Cheryl did that to death, right? Yeah. Like, they're the best of friends.
Yeah.
Right? But I also know that if anything happened to me, they would ferociously defend me. Like whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that I'm just really proud of you know, I can send them out in the world and be confident that their base setting is cool. We don't, you know, there's not a lot of things. I'm not worried about them chasing after no nigga with money.
Right.
Nah, get your own. And I would preach to them, listen, if your mom and I broke up and we went our separate ways, there's going to be no drop off in your lifestyle. If anything, you know, wifey was doing 6 figures right out the gate. So if anything, you may do better staying over there. So don't be in no situation where you feel like you gotta be with no dude to take care of you. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you're together so that you're in a situation because you want to be. And here's your example. You there because you want to be. You there because y'all's relationship it's working. Y'all are growing. Y'all are building. Not because you feel trapped.
Right.
Financially.
You got to be there.
Nah, I don't want that for them. So yeah, I'm you know, and one is, you know, like my oldest, she's a teacher here, and she was a teacher. She started as a teacher's assistant in September, and by I think October, November, she was a teacher.
Nice.
Like they
that quick.
But I'm not surprised. I'm like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what she does.
That's the clothes she cut from.
The youngest, exactly, and the youngest one is going to school to get an engineering degree.
Nice.
And so, you know, it's like, yeah, you know, what I love about that is she wasn't afraid to say, yeah, I'm gonna get an engineering degree, because there's some of us that be like, I like the engineer's check, but I don't know if I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be that.
Yeah.
So the fact that she took that on, and then she's got a plan, right? She hasn't, like, you know, I started school to be a doctor, and I was like, shit.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm plenty smart enough. I was just like,
I can see you being Dr. McBean though.
Yeah. It was just way too many women and frat parties.
Oh yeah, plus you got what Caribbean parents, so you definitely was had to be one of the boxes you got to check,
bro. Listen, until I had a national credit, like until my name scrolled on BET, you can't tell me my parents wasn't ashamed of me. Can't make me believe it. I got a call one day like this, mate. I got a call one day. Hey, you on TV? Like, what you mean? So I got he said he got a call from somebody in the family. They said they saw our name. They said I see my name on TV. I said, oh no, they saw my name on TV. And he was like, what are you doing? And, you know, I said, man, I told you I work for BET. I write for a television show.
Yeah.
He said, really? And the people called him from Guyana. He was like, really? And he was telling me this. I'm like, yeah, man, Caribbean, what do you think I'm doing? Like Caribbean parents, African parents, anybody. Listen, man.
Foreign, they hard on their kids with the kind of education.
Nigga with them pom-poms. As soon as he saw it, he was like, yeah, get it. I knew you had it in you. Like, no, you didn't. Cut it out. But yeah, man. Caribbean parents, bro.
If it ain't engineering, doctor, lawyer, they praying for your downfall. Then you better do something else.
What are you doing?
All my homies that are, you know,
ain't no future in that.
Yeah, I feel for them.
Bro, it's tough, man.
You gotta work 20 times harder to do. If you want to do what you want to do, you better work 20 times harder, or you ain't never gonna get it.
You're never gonna hear the end of it either.
What's the last thing I want to ask you is,
all right,
what's one thing you want the future generation to know about your grind and your journey and your purpose?
In the immortal words of the smugglers, God is great and the grind is good.
There you go.
We just hustlers getting money out the hood. That's what I want y'all to know. Stay on your grind. Live your dream. And it was I want to say it was a Elzai joint. And at the end of it, it says, "You're only as old as your." It's on Lead Poison, I think, is the album. You're only as old as your ability to embrace new concepts. So if you want to stay young, you want to stay current, no matter how gray your hair gets, you gotta definitely start embracing new concepts and staying up at the time. So, and that's what that's what we're doing. There's a reason that our generation, we're not washed yet.
Right?
And that's it. So,
man,
I would hope they know that about me.
Well, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having
you
me
coming
back, man. I
on.
appreciate you.
You know it, and we gotta continue the conversation.
Yeah,
Make
I
sure
gotta get you on our show.
Oh, definitely.
Hip Hop 101.
Yeah,
Shameless
please
plug.
run down everything that you got going on.
Hip Hop 101 with DJ Big Rye. This is the other homie. I'm sure he's gonna have Big Rye on the show.
For sure.
Like, talk about somebody who knows everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
I started to invite him, but I knew it'd be like a 3 hour.
Come on, bro. We'd be here all day. But I'm telling you, I've never, bro. This dude knows everybody.
Yeah, he's the mayor,
straight up and down. So we have that going on Friday nights here in Houston. 90.9 KTSU, the vibe. Unfortunately, because of the timing of the show, we're on 90.9 and not just on the app, but there's an app on
dope.
Vibe Houston. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty dope. We're really excited about that. And it's gaining some traction. Like, brothers and sisters from our age group, they're really like, they're saying, yo, man, I listen to the show. I really enjoy the show. So I'm really honored to be a part of that for however long it lasts. You know what I'm saying? Everything's not forever. However, I think this one has a few legs. Then I got a book I'm promoting because my book is coming out, and I told you about that. The Real One's Code: How the Streets, the Hip Hop in the Yard Taught Me Not to Be an HAN. That's coming. I mean, come on, bro. That's coming very soon. We're like in the finishing stages of that. And if I'm honest with myself, I kind of been dragging my feet. I think there's a fear of success. Yeah, it's not failure. I don't know what it is. I'm working on that, and that's one of the things I try not to instill in my kids. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I'm fighting some parental things. It ain't their fault. It's just what it is when they grew up. So I'm not tripping on that. We'll be all right though. It's coming out whether I wanted to or not. Pause. And Rashad and I we talking about a podcast with a few other friends we have, and they don't like the name. I don't. The name of the podcast is the Fly Unks Podcast. I think that's a dope ass name. I just think that's a dope name, like the Fly Unks. Like, dope. Whether we, you know what I'm saying? So, that's the plan. So I'm setting up the crib. So when y'all come to my crib, it's not gonna look like this. This is the movie. This is the crib you see in movies. Like, people don't really live like that. Bob lives like that. He got a Daredevil apartment. Y'all you seen Daredevil? You seen Daredevil? This man got a Daredevil crib. It's dope though. And that's it. I got a few other things on, down the line. The series I talked to you about, but that's still in the works, still ironing out the kinks, because I really want to be able to present a full attack on the industry with it. So, man, about it, man, that's all we can do. And I'm glad you're staying busy. You definitely inspire me. You definitely motivate me. Whenever you guys post anything, I'm gonna always repost it. I'm gonna always show love. Already. Keep doing what you're doing, and let's have another conversation at another time. Whenever you want. And appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all check us out every Monday. No Chauffeur. I'm your host, Rob Nelson, and you know what it is. Be good, be safe.